Hi, Dorothy. I just don't see my hands yet, so bear with me. I seem to be lagging. Hang on a second, okay? Okay, I'm there. I think I'm there. Come on. Okay. Hi. Welcome to my Facebook Live. I'm Casey Christensen, coming to you live from West Kelowna, BC, where it's beautiful and sunny. We just came back from the beach, where I learned to paddleboard. My husband and I want to get paddleboards. And so we went to the beach today and we rented paddleboards just so we could get a feel for them and see what we think, and we like them. I didn't quite get up to a standing position. My husband did. He's a little more athletic than I am, but anyways, it was lots of fun. Even though I was sitting through the whole thing, I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. So I think we're going to bite the bullet and invest in a couple of those, get us out on the lake and getting some exercise and whatnot. So today I thought I'd like to play again with this Rustic Harvest suite. I'm really jazzed about this suite. Now, for ordering purposes, the suite, as last time I looked, the suite was not available. However, myself personally, I didn't feel the need to get this set here because I have these supplies already. They're not Stampin' Up, but I have them. And then this is 12 by 12 black cardstock. So what you can do is you can order these things by piecemeal, okay? So I ordered this, and this, and this. And so I didn't get the 12 by 12 paper. I don't really use a lot of 12 by 12 paper, but you probably could. But to order it in the suite, it's not available, but you can order them one piece at a time, which is what I did. So, and I absolutely love it. It's great fun. I made a card day before yesterday, I think. This is the card I made the other day using this suite. However, I'm involved in a card swap. Actually, I'm hosting a card swap. And so the criteria for the swap is to use something out of this new mini catalog. And this set is out of the new mini catalog. So tonight, I thought I would, just for fun. Oh, I've got something there. Yeah. So tonight I thought, just for fun, I'd maybe just kind of wing it, and maybe, if I like it, create my card that I will use for my swap. So let's get started. I have some fun things here. I've got the suite. I've got some great colors you can see here. I've got my memento, and I've got my contour dies. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use here, but I've got my contour dies, and I have a little idea in my head. So let's see if I can bring it to fruition. So I've got my stamps all prepared. As you know, I like to prepare my stamps. We're going to use today the pumpkin and the flowers. And I think we're going to go with hello because it's very generic for a swap card. It's nice, you can put hello on the front of the card and then open it up and have happy birthday or happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, whatever you like. So I'm going to go with that. And I've prepared all my stamps already. And as you know, once I've prepared my stamps, I like to put that sheet on the back of my, especially with these cling stamps, because we don't have the jewel cases that have the lovely pictures like we do with the photopolymer stamps. So I like to, once I've done labeling all my stamps, I like to save this sheet and put it on the back of my jewel case so that I know exactly where my stamps belong, and I know that I have no stamps missing. If there's a hole in here, there's a stamp missing. Now these ones look a little lighter in color, you probably noticed, and that is because I have taken a very fine nail file and gone over these very lightly just to rough up that edge. You find you get a cleaner stamp if you'll do that with your stamps here. So we're going to use these three for the moment, I think. I mean, I might change my mind as I go. I often do that, but I'm going to start with these three, and I'm going to stamp these in the memento. At least the flowers. No, you know what? I'm only going to stamp the flowers in the memento. I do have a plan, I promise you. It's just stuck in my head and it's coming out in little bits. It's kind of how I roll. So let's get this little piece here. And we're going to stamp the flowers. Okay, so let's just place our flowers down. Okay, I'm going to say they go like that. Place my flowers down and give that a nice, and I have a brand new, newly inked up stamp pad, so I should do okay with this, but I wanted to do it on the Stamparatus anyways, just in case I have to do a second stamping. So let's see how we go with this. And I might not need to stamp it a second time. We're going to color this, as you haven't noticed. I've got all my, oh yeah, that's a single stamping. That looks great. That looks great. So there we go. We're going to start with that. And just give me a second to clean off my stamp, because it's important to me to keep these stamps in A1 shape. So I always like to clean them off with every use, and especially the cling stamps. If you use the, if you clean them off using that spray I'm using, that Stampin Mist, it conditions the stamp as well, so they'll never dry out. They'll always stay nice and clean and supple, and that's what you need. Oh, what have I got here? Oh, there we go. All right, so let's put that aside. I don't know if we'll need it again, but we'll just put it aside for the moment. Okay, so there's that. Now, as you know, I like to do my my card front first before I start playing with all my goodies. So let's get our card front. I'm using the Cajun Craze. At least I think it's the Cajun Craze. The colors are kind of, no, Crushed Curry. This is Cajun Craze. I'm using Crushed Curry for my card front, and I'm using this fun paper. I just think this paper is so much fun, right? Because it's got so many colors in it. So what I'm going to do is, as you know, your card front is 5.5 by 4 1/4, and you know I like to work in notches, okay? So I'm going to cut this one notch less. I'm going to cut it in this direction. So this area, this across here is going to have to be my 4 1/4, so that my goodies on this page are as they should be, right? So I'm going to do one notch less than 4 1/4. I don't want much of a show of my card. I want the paper to kind of be the feature. So we got that, and then one notch less than 5 1/2. And by one notch, I just mean on my ruler. People who follow me know that this is kind of the way I roll when it comes to measurements, because I'm not all that good at 8ths and 16ths and all that business. I simply go with a notch less. So it's one notch less on this ruler than the 5 1/2, which you would normally cut for a card front. So there it is. That's my piece, okay? Now, see that? So it's just a nice little fit. It's got a little bit of the cardstock showing through, and that's all I want. I really don't want a whole lot of that cardstock showing through, but I really wanted to use this particular paper. So let's just pop that down. Boy, it was nice at the lake. It was very windy though. It was very, very windy today. But that's okay. It's just a little extra hard work on the paddleboard to keep everything in check. But I see people out there on paddleboards all the time falling asleep, and I'm looking at them going, holy cow, if you fall completely asleep, you're going to end up in Kelowna. You're not even going to be in Beachland anymore. You're going to be in Kelowna, because that's how fast the current was. It's just going to suck you in, and you're just going to keep going. So there's my card front. Now, I've got my piece here and my piece here. I also have a piece of, this is crumb cake, one of my most used, and this is just a piece that I had in my, I'm trying to cover up these. I love this new media board, but it's glass, and so there's lots of reflection, so I haven't quite sorted out how to deal with that yet. In the meantime, I just try and cover them up. But this is crushed curry. No, it's not. It's crumb cake, and I embossed it with my painted texture embossing folder. Now this is a piece I had in my scrap bin, so it was already like that. I didn't do that today. It was just sitting there. So I thought, what the heck? Why not use it? So I don't know which one of these contours I want to use on here, because I do want to be able to still see some of that paper. I think I'm going to use this one, okay? Because mostly I want the color. I want all the colors that are around here. I think the other one might be a tad small for what we're going to do. But I'll tell you what, let's get our stamping done, and we can revisit that when we get there. So now I want to do my pumpkin. And so for the pumpkin, I've got the crushed Cajun Craze paper. Yep, I knew that. Cajun Craze paper. So I'm just going to pop that in here now. And I've got a pumpkin. And my pumpkin, I'm going to, because it's one of the colors in this paper, I'm going to use Merry Merlot. I think it will look quite good. If it doesn't look quite good, well then we'll revisit it and we'll do something else. But I think it's going to look nice in the Merry Merlot. So that's what I'm going to do. Give it a bit of a contrast on top of that paper. So let's get a stamp head to put under here to keep things level. It always inks up a little better if you do that. Okay, let's pop that up a bit. Ooh, I don't know if that's looking like a, oh, I think it's okay. We're going to find out in a hurry. I just don't know if it's inking very well. It might be in need of a re-ink, but let's just see what we get, okay? Let's just see what we get. Oh yes, that looks good. That looks really good. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again because I want it to be really nice and saturated with that Merry Merlot color. Make sure everything's back in as it should be. There we go. Yes, I like that. I like that. I was undecided whether I wanted to stamp it on white and color it, or whether I wanted to stamp it on the colored cardstock, and I think I like what I'm doing here. So let's just clean that one off as well. I'm so glad they brought these back, these Stampin' Scrub. They were gone for a while, but I think they're really brilliant. They're a really good thing to have. Dry it on this side. So it just, you wash on this side and you dry on that side, and there are little markers down here in the corner to keep you straight here. This one has like a watery marking, and this side has like a sunshine marking, so like water and dry or whatever. So it's, try and keep it that way so that it's not getting dirty on both sides or inked on both sides. Okay. So not sure where we're going with that hello yet. We'll sort that out as we go. So here I have my pumpkin. And I'm going to get my little cutter here, my little embossing machine here. I love this little machine. And I'm going to use some washi tape just because if I'm using this small machine, I need to make sure that I'm keeping everything in check. And my... Okay. I always seem to lose something, don't I? There they are. Okay. So here's my dies, and as you can see, I've drawn all around my dies. It's important to do that because if I hadn't drawn around them like this, then I would never know if I was missing one when I go to put it away, right? It's really important to do that. So you know where everything goes, you can get it. And some of them, if you don't do that, you'll never get them all back on the sheet again, ever. But these ones, I like to do that. So I've already pre-cut out some of these. Don't know for sure if I'm going to use them, but I think I am. These are little, you know, those curly viney things that are sometimes on pumpkins. So I've cut a few out there that we'll play with. But right now, I'm just going to get this pumpkin die. And we're going to cut out our pumpkin. Okay, so let's get some washi tape here. There we are. You know, I was surprised today looking out at the water how many people were out on paddle boards without life jackets. That really surprised me. And what surprised me even more was this one woman who was out there on a paddleboard with two very small children, none of them with vests on. None of them. Not the children. I'm going to say the children were around the area of 2, maybe 3. And the mom and the 2 kids, no life jackets. It just blows my mind sometimes. Like, I'm not a good swimmer. Okay, maybe they're excellent swimmers. But you know what? If they all go over, who's the mom going to try and save first if both of those kids are in the water, right? I'm not a good swimmer. I'm all about life jackets. In fact, if I didn't look like such a big pansy, I'd be out there swimming in a life jacket. But I know that's just wrong, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I don't swim. I sink like a rock. But I love the water, so it's kind of weird, right? You'd think if I don't swim, I'd be concerned about being out on the water. I love being out on the water. I just can't swim. Despite all kinds of efforts on the behalf of my mom. My mom was a lifeguard. And there was no success there teaching me to swim. So, all right. So I'm just going to put these back. As you know, I've mentioned before, I like to store these with the plates inside the machine, because you know what? They seem to warp less if they're stored like that. So that's what I do now, and I have noticed quite a big difference. So what else am I going to need here? I don't think I'm going to need anything else here, because we're going to use the hello. Yeah, I don't think oh, I do need something else here. I'm wrong. Look at this. I need this to cut out my flowers. So we'll just keep these handy. Okay, so let's give our flowers a little life here. I'm going to start with my light and dark granny apple green. Do I want to do that, or do I want to do, I think maybe I want to do old olive. I think that's more suitable for pumpkins. I think pumpkin leaves and things are a little bit darker, aren't they? I'm not really sure, but I'm going with that. So we're going to just do some coloring here. And I'm not getting too crazy. I'm just literally, wherever there's a leaf, I'm drawing a line or two. You know, I'm not getting nuts. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. We don't need that. Oh, sorry. Got my big fat head in the way. There we go. And I think I'll add a little darkening on these filled in leaves. Okay. And I'm just going to use a little bit of the dark and see what we get. A little bit, not much. Just to give a little variation, right? Nothing too serious. Maybe a little bit there. It just gives it a little hint of shadowing, so which is nice. Okay, now we're going to use our yellows, and I'm going to start with the dark Daffodil Delight. And I'm just going to go in. The nice thing about Stampin' Up! Is they kind of tell you where to shadow. If you look at this, you'll see that inside the flowers there's these lines here. And so that's usually where I put my dark color, is wherever these lines are on the petals. And I'm not being fussy about it either. I'm just sort of throwing it out there where it goes. I can see I've missed a leaf or two. Didn't realize they were leaves until now. And I think that's it. So just use I'm using the darker color for the shadowing. See that? Just gives a nice little, you don't need very much. It's just enough that there's a variance of color between the center part of the flower and the outer part of the flower. So now I'm going to use my the light Daffodil Light, and I'm just gonna bring in some color. And you know what? I don't totally color all the way out to the edges. I think it has a more artistic flair when you just sort of drop the color on it. Even if there is a little bit of blank space, I still think I like the look of it. That's my own personal feeling, but that's how I feel about it. I like the look of that. So I'm just adding some color there. Now, I see another leaf. Now, there's also these other little things. I'm going to use the dark Daffodil Delight for these little buds that haven't quite blossomed yet. There's a few of those. And then I'm going to use, I think crumb cake would be better. What do we got here? Well, that's bronze. That's not going to work at all. I'm going to try crumb cake in the center of the flowers because they would be seeds. Remember, these are sunflowers. So I'm thinking they would be seeds in the centers there. So I'm good with that. I like how that looks. Now, these little guys out here, they're little, I'm not quite sure what they are, but I think I want them to be like a subtle orangey color. So I'm going to use light pumpkin pie. And they're really just a dot of color. They're just sort of I'm not even sure what they're supposed to be, but just that little extra color, adding another color is lovely. So that's what I'm doing. So I got a little bit of that in there. And then these other things that are just dots, I think I'm going to leave them. These little bits here that are like leafy, I think if I try and add color to them, it's going to get outside of them. These two things. So I think I'm done. I think I like that. So let's get our die cut. And let's, ooh, I got it on there almost first time. Some of these, sometimes they're a little tricky. Sometimes. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. It could be just me that finds them a little tricky sometimes. Oh, is this thin enough to go through my machine? Let me check. I might have to trim it down a tad. Yeah, I got to trim it down just a little bit. A little bit much to get through there. There we go. Well, I'm pleased with the coloring. Coloring is not really my forte. I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it, but then I have a tendency to beat myself up over it. Yes, they do. Hi, Stephanie. Nice to see you. So nice to see you. Yes, they have kind of a very fine, it's not a flat really. It's a very fine tip on one side, like so. And then on the other side, it's more of a brush. It's like a brush. And it does move, right? Sort of, it moves. It's sort of, you can fan it out a little bit. So it's like a brush. How are my kids, by the way? They were so sick. I couldn't believe they were so sick. Was it heat stroke or something like that? Yeah, they're nice pens, right? And they blend. So if you color in the two colors, say if you do the two colors and you start off with the dark one, and then you go with the light one will draw the black one, or the darker one, out a little bit. So it becomes a very even blended sort of situation, which I like. Who else is here? Who did I miss? I see that there's 3 of you, and I don't know who else is here. Stephanie, I see you, and Dorothy, I see you. Flu or heat, yeah. But they're on the mend, right? They're getting better. I hate when kids are sick. And when kids are sick in like incredibly hot weather, it's even worse. Like what if you got 110 down there or something in Tucson? Look at that. I'm pleased with that. Look at that. I like that. So you see, Stephanie, that I did the dark color on the inside of the flowers and then the lighter on the outer side of the petal, and then when you color it, it draws the two colors kind of together and gives you a blended effect. I'm pleased with that. I do like how that colored. Okay, so I'll save some of that washi tape. All right, so let's see where we're going with this. Now, I'm undetermined whether I want to do this situation or whether this one would be, I think this one would be maybe too small. I'm not sure. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it because I have another piece of that. So let's try this one first because I do have more of this already pre-embossed. So let's try this one first and see how I feel about it. Thanks, Stephanie. I've been playing with this set for a couple days. I did this one yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I think, which I quite enjoyed working on it. And so I'm just kind of working on this new set that came out from the new catalog. So let's do this. Let's get our little bits going. Stephanie, I amazed myself today. I went paddle boarding. My husband and I, we want to buy paddle boards, so we rented one, and we shared it. We went to Peachland, and we paddle boarded, and actually, thank you. Actually, it was a lot of fun. I think that we're going to get our own paddle boards. It was fun. It was tons of fun. I really enjoyed it. All right, so let's look and see how this looks. I do like the scallop edge on here. So we'll have a look at it and see how it sits on the card before I decide whether I should use the bigger one. But I kind of like the smaller one, to be honest. Okay, so let's get our card. So we've got these lovely fruits and vegetables. And let's just kind of, let me flatten that out so it'll work a little better. Just get my bone folder out and give that a nice flattening out so that it will sit still for me. I don't know, what do we think? Do you think it needs the bigger contour? Yeah, I'm definitely, my arms are going to be a little bit sore tomorrow. I did do a lot of paddling, so I was on it more than my husband was, but I just really thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm feeling like if I do that, okay, hang on, hang tough with me, okay? I'm going to grab another piece. Oh, this one wasn't embossed, but that's okay. I don't need it embossed per se. I'm just going to do this for a second. See what this looks like, okay? Let's just see. Can I even do it on this? Yeah, I think I can. I think I can. It might be too tight. I need a little piece of tape. Oh no, I can't find the beginning of, oh, there it is. I'll just need to tape this on here because it's a tight fit. All right, so let's pop that on there and see what we get. Let me see. All right, I don't mind that it's not embossed, but let's see how it sits on the card. It's all about experiment, right? For me it is anyways. That's kind of how I do things. Is from experimentation. Yeah, I think I like the fit better on that. I think the other one is too small. So we're going to go with this, okay? So I'm going to get some dimensionals to put this pumpkin down. Yeah, I think the other one was pushing it too. It was a little too small. I think this will work out good. Okay, so let's see where, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick my flowers on there, then I'll have a better understanding of where that should be. So let's get some glue, because I'm going to stick my flowers right on here. And I only want to put a little bit of glue on, because I want to be able to get under there to put my bits. I have some extra bits. Okay, so I think, now I got to think on this for a second, because where am I going to put my hello? Where am I going to put my hello? No, I don't want my hello there. I'm going to center it. I'm going to center it because I can put my hello sort of on top of it, sort of. So let's do my best job of centering this. I think that looks about right to me. Now, I want to use these little things because I like them so much. These little cutouts I did. Can you see them? Little cutouts I did for vines. So let's just pop this out. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for at all. I'm undecided. I'm just undecided what I'm doing. I think I'm going to center it though. I think it will look best because I got my hello to go on there still. And this is going to be my swap cards, so I have to make a ton of them. So I want to make sure it's nothing, you know, I do like to put effort into my cards, but not like an hour per card to make them because, you know, I have to make a whole bunch. So let's just get a little bit of glue on here. And I'm just going to tuck this. Oh, we still have a piece not quite punched out yet. There we go. So I'm going to put some glue on here and then I'm going to tuck it under. And that is Mossy Meadow, this the ink I used for these, or the paper I used for these little guys. This is Mossy Meadow, one of my all-time faves. I think that's probably enough. I probably don't need all of them. I think though, or unless I wanted to do one. Let's see. Yeah, actually, I kind of like that. So I'm going to do one at the top, sticking out a little bit. Okay, yeah, I kind of like that. Alright, so now we're going to pop this up. Lots of dimensionals on this one. This is why I'm not taking it to the mailbox to send them, because I have to send so many. If you take it to the mailbox, they're going to tell you that it costs the price of a stamp plus a little bit more because it's thicker. But if you just put a stamp on it and pop it in the mail, it always gets where it's going. So that's what I do. I don't ask first, I just send it. They're not stickers, actually, no, they're die cuts. They're out of this set here. They're these little bits here. See that? There's 3 of them. They're just the little die cuts. And then I cut them out of Mossy Meadow paper. Although you could put the mossy meadow paper on the adhesive sheets first so that they then become stickers, which would have been clever, but I'm okay with them not being completely stuck down. I'm good with that. So let's see if I can center that pretty darn good. I think I'm okay with that. Now, I had an idea. I don't know if it's a good one or not, but let's see. I have this ribbon, and it frays, and that's the whole idea, you know, like it's supposed to fray. I'm just looking to see what this would look like if I put it across here with my hello. Let's just fray it a little bit. That's not the way it works. It doesn't fray evenly. Okay. It does fray nicely, but it automatically wants to go down to the next row to fray it, so you have to trim it off. Oh. Let's just see how that looks. I'm going to put it on there until I make a decision. I need to stamp my hello, and I want to stamp my hello in black, on black with, here's a piece here, and I'm going to use embossing powder and Versamark because I want it to look very chalkboardish, okay? That's kind of my aim, chalkboardish. Like this looks a little bit. This paper here, if you look at this paper here, it looks a little bit like chalkboard lines. So I'm just going to do this. And my Versamark. And I'll get a block. Let's see which one will work well. You know what? No, I'm going to play it safe. And I'll get a magnet out. Hang on a second. I need a magnet for this one. So I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to do it on my Stamparatus just so I can be sure I get a really good stamp. Now what I'm doing, so that I'm able to make sure I line it up, there are darker lines and lighter lines on here, and I'm placing this within darker lines so that if it moves, I know how to get it back. So this line here is a darker line, and both the lines on either side of this are darker lines. That way I can be sure that if I have to, and I'm going to put it in the middle. I'm wasting a little bit of paper, but it's important to me that I get this right. Okay, so memento, you know what I mean, Versamark. Let's get some Versamark, and I want this to be really good and gooey. And you'll know I did the embossing boulder buddy first, this time I remembered, so we don't get any embossing powder residue. Where's my little round thing? Oh well, there it is. There it is. My little air hockey thing. That's what I keep thinking it is. It isn't, but that's what I keep thinking it is. Yeah, this is going to look really cool. I think this is going to look really cool. And do that again. Yes, I've got a really good amount of Versamark on there. So I'm just going to cut that off. Take that off and I can clean it up in a minute. But let's get out our embossing tools. And I'm gonna use the white embossing powder because I want it to look chalky. And I have a spoon here somewhere. This is dangerous. I'm doing this with a fan running in my room. How dumb is that? But it's okay, because the fan is behind my back. As long as I don't move too much, I ought to be okay. All right. I want to do a little bit more just because it's okay. Let's put this away before it gets blown all over my room. Put the lid back on that. Put it somewhere where it won't get knocked over. Not like I haven't done that before. Okay, a little bit of noise here while I get my heat gun happening. And I'm just going to heat that up. And you can almost see it. I don't know how it translates on the camera, but I can see it going from not much to nice and bright white. There we go. So, that looks really nice, and I'm getting the chalk kind of effect that I was looking for. Okay. So now, I think I want to flag it a little bit, and I think I want to cut it down. So let's cut it down to begin with. I'm just going to wing it there. I see that wasn't very straight, but it's okay, not the end of the world. That looks not bad, not bad. Not going to beat myself up over it. Okay, and then I'm going to get my little snips. I can take a little bit more off that side. And I'm just going to flag it a little bit. So Stephanie, your mom said that the kids really like stickers. So when I saw that book, I just couldn't resist. I'm a huge animal lover, so. Okay, let's see what this looks like. I'm undecided about the ribbon, but let's see what it looks like with the ribbon on it. I don't know. I don't know. I can't decide. Maybe if it's a little higher up. Yes, I think a little higher up is going to do the trick. What do you think? I like it with the ribbon now that I've moved it up a little bit. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of glue. I'm going to put it along the bottom of my pumpkin here, just a little bit. Remember, this ribbon is porous. I'm going to lay my ribbon down. Just center it pretty good. And then I think I'm going to glue this. I think glue is the answer for this. I don't want to do any more popping up, right? I think there's enough popping up going on there. So I'm just going to glue this one down. That's cute. What do you think? I think that's cute. Oh, was she? Well, I love animals, and I thought maybe she would too. So animals are always fun. Plus, there's, you know, stickers are great, but it doesn't hurt if there's a little tiny bit of education that goes with it, right? That can never hurt. I went into the Indigo, and I said, I have a niece and a nephew that love sticker books. Can you help me out? She goes, oh yeah, there's all. I had no idea how many sticker books there are. There's a whole big section of sticker books. It was awesome. It was really hard to decide, though. It was really hard to decide. I nearly came home with a couple for myself, but then I thought, no, that would be really immature. Not that I'm not really immature, but... Okay, I like that. I like that quite a bit. So let's get some jewels. Look, this is the other thing I bought. When I was mentioning that you can't buy that whole suite, but you can buy it in bits and pieces. So I also bought these. These are these cute, I'm not going to use them today, but these are cute as a button. They have little holes in them too, so you can tie stuff on them or whatever. You can have them hanging, and you can stamp on them. You can do whatever you want. That's what I did on this card. I used the little maple leaf here, and I stamped it with one of the stamps that's in the set. I don't know if you can see that, but with one of the stamps that's in the set, I stamped it and then put a little bow through it. So it's really cute, but there's just no room for that today. So we're not going to do that. But of course, we do have to have some bling. So let's see, we're going to use some of these beautiful, beautiful rhinestones that I got in my order. I'm going to put one here. They're just gorgeous. They really are. They're such a deep, great gold. And do I want another one? I probably do. We're supposed to do these things in 3Ds. They say it's for balance. There. How cute, right? So let's see what else we can do. I have also, maybe I should mimic the outside on the inside. So let's find wherever I put them. That would be great if I could just put my hands on it. My other contour. There it is. Let's find my other contour die, and we'll use that for the inside of the card as well. Now, because this one's bigger and that was really a tight fit, I'm just going to turn my back here for a second and pop this through on the bigger machine. I'll just be one sec. Okay, there we are. So, it's still a light color, so you don't necessarily have to put something on the inside, but I just thought it would be nice to put something on the inside for the purposes of the stamping. And then I thought, why not, let's do this. Let's do this. So I'm going to get another color. So we're going to do this in this color and maybe Pumpkin Pie or Daffodil Delight. Maybe Daffodil Delight. Yes. So let's do this. I think this is fun. Let's get my, you'll notice I'm not putting I'm not gluing down the inside yet. I want to make sure that I'm going to like this, so that it's going to work, and then I'm going to like it. So let's put down the yellow one first. So I need a little bit of messy paper here. Just happen to have a piece. Let's see. Oh, bath time. I do love bath time. Knock yourself out, girlfriend. Bath time is the best time for kids. Okay, so I'm just going to do one here. Oh, that's cute. I like it. It's not perfect, but then neither am I, so it works for me. Okay? Let me just clean this stamp off the easy peasy way, because I want to use it again right away with the Mary Merlot. You know, it's supposed to be like, but I didn't realize that at first. It's a little distressed out here on the edges. Can you see that? A little bit distressed out here on the edges. That's intentional. I love that. I think that's gorgeous. So let's do another one here. Oh, look at that. I love it. I do. I just love it. So, that was a happy experiment. Oh, I completely lost my card. Oh, I am good. Oh, there it is. It's in my hand. I couldn't find it because it was in my hand. All right, we'll give this one a little wash off. Oh, we may as well do this too while we're here, right? Because it's got to come off. The Versamark. So I think that's going to be it. I think that's going to be my swap card. There we go. And we're just going to pop this down with some tape. Don't I make a lovely mess? This, I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I do it. It's such a mess right now on my desk. But that's okay. I don't really mind the cleaning up process either, so. Look at that. How pretty is that, right? I like it. So there it is, folks. That's going to be my swap card. I just need to get all my components stamped and ready and colored and all that kind of stuff. And that'll be my swap card. I love it. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed that as much as I did. There's 2 cards now on the Hello Harvest stamp set, which I'm really fond of. Two variations. So there you go. So I will catch you next time. Not sure when next time is. As I mentioned before, I'm working now, so life is a little busier than it used to be, but I thoroughly enjoy doing this, and will certainly pop in whenever I can, so just keep an eye on your notifications. And catch me when you can. If you can't catch me here, you can catch me on YouTube later, or you can watch the replay. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.